Have you ever felt like, no matter how hard you try, nothing really changes, as if the world around you remains unchanged, indifferent to your efforts? What if, instead of fighting against the current, you learned to flow with it, starting from within? Imagine a universe where your dreams are not just mere ideas, but tangible realities within your reach. Sounds impossible? Know that transforming challenges into stepping stones for success is entirely achievable. The secret lies in how we perceive life. But how can we achieve this shift in perspective? The answer lies in an ancient philosophy that teaches us how to live meaningfully: Stoicism. In this video, we will explore teachings that will deeply impact your way of thinking, preparing you to achieve what once seemed unattainable. By reclaiming your hope, you will begin to see every obstacle as a stepping stone to a stronger, improved version of yourself. Let's embark on this journey. Lesson 1. The power of ataraxia. The Stoic sages left us the concept of ataraxia, a central idea in their doctrine. Ataraxia is a state of deep mental tranquility, an inner refuge where we become immune to emotional disturbances. They believe that true happiness is not found in material possessions or external recognition, but in the ability to maintain a calm and balanced mind. Marcus Aurelius, emperor and Stoic philosopher, introduced us to the idea of the inner fortress, a metaphor for the mental resilience that each of us can build within. This fortress represents our emotional strength and self-discipline, serving as a shield against external influences and negative emotions. Imagine your mind as an impenetrable castle, unshaken by external challenges. This inner fortress is your refuge, where you find serenity even in the midst of chaos. This is the state of mind that the Stoics called ataraxia. Ataraxia teaches us that while we cannot control everything that happens, we can always choose how we react. It's about maintaining balance and focusing on what is within our control, leading to a more mindful and peaceful life. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said, "It is not things that disturb us, but rather our interpretation of them." This idea perfectly encapsulates the essence of ataraxia. Our peace depends more on our perspective than on the circumstances themselves. How can we apply this principle in daily life? Imagine a common situation. You're out with friends and a political discussion arises. Someone aggressively dismisses your ideas, interrupting you and undermining your opinion. How would you instinctively react? The irritation rises within you, and the unfairness of the situation feels unbearable. This is the perfect moment to practice ataraxia. Instead of being carried away by anger or trying to impose your viewpoint at all costs, pause. Take a deep breath and remember that the only thing you control is your own reaction, not the attitude of others. With serenity, assert the respect you deserve. Express your perspective rationally and listen attentively without rushing to judgments or interruptions. This approach not only preserves your tranquility, but also prevents unnecessary conflicts and sets you apart as a thoughtful and respectful individual. In this everyday scene, we realize the value of serenity, this state of inner balance so cherished by the Stoics. Through it, we face life's adversities with a calm mind and a resilient spirit, transforming each obstacle into an opportunity for personal growth. Lesson 2. Practice detachment. The Stoics, in their teachings, offer profound reflections on the practice of detachment. Imagine for a moment that you are standing by the edge of a river, watching the waters flow peacefully. You simply observe without trying to change the direction of the current or its speed. This state of full observation, without attempting to modify or interfere with events, perfectly symbolizes the concept of detachment. Far from being apathy, detachment is about freeing ourselves from the chains of our expectations. How many times have you felt anxious or frustrated because things did not go as you had hoped? How often have you found yourself trying to control situations whose outcomes were beyond your reach? Now imagine yourself in those same circumstances, yet able to emotionally distance yourself from the result. Do you feel the lightness? It's like lifting a great burden off your shoulders, isn't it? By practicing detachment, we not only free our minds and hearts from unnecessary pressures, but also allow ourselves to live with greater tranquility and emotional balance. The Stoics taught that true serenity comes from accepting what we cannot change and focusing on our own attitude toward events. As Seneca once said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence on the future." This thought helps us face challenges more calmly, without placing the responsibility for our reactions on others. Throughout contemporary history, we also find echoes of this philosophy of detachment. The spiritual guide and author of The Power of Now emphasizes the importance of freeing ourselves from the ego and unnecessary worries. He teaches that by focusing our attention on the present and avoiding impulsive reactions, we achieve mental clarity that allows us to live more authentically. His work shows that detachment is not about indifference, but about liberating ourselves from the need to control everything around us, a principle that strongly aligns with the Stoic precepts of acceptance and serenity. But how can we apply detachment in our daily lives? Imagine yourself facing a difficult moment, such as a disagreement with a close friend or a professional project that becomes complicated. I challenge you to practice detachment in these situations. Ask yourself, what is truly within my control in this situation? Direct your energy toward those aspects and let go of what is beyond your reach. I know this is not an easy task, but with practice, this approach can significantly reduce your anxiety. To incorporate detachment into your routine, start small. One effective technique is mindful breathing. Whenever you encounter a challenging moment or tension in your relationships, take a few moments to close your eyes and breathe deeply. As you inhale and exhale, accept each thought and emotion without resistance. This habit will strengthen your ability to practice detachment and help you face challenges with greater clarity and serenity. Remember, detachment does not mean giving up or lacking ambition. It is the ability to understand and accept what is beyond our control. By letting go, we channel our energy into what truly makes a difference and can be transformed. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught that it is not events that disturb us, but our interpretation of them. Embrace this Stoic wisdom and discover peace and strength in detachment. By doing so, you will be able to face any challenge with a balanced mind and a tranquil heart. The Stoics deeply meditated on the value of simplicity, a principle we often overlook while submerged in the fast-paced rhythm and pressures of modern life. But have you ever reflected on how simplifying your life could ease the burden of excess, both material and mental? Imagine yourself sitting in a serene field, surrounded by wildflowers. The sun gently warms your skin as a delicate breeze touches your face. There are no notifications demanding your attention, no endless to-do lists, only you and nature. A scene that invites contemplation on the charm of simplicity. In this moment, you experience a genuine sense of serenity, free from the distractions and stress that so often cloud your days. This is a concept we frequently neglect. But have you considered the tranquility you could achieve by simplifying your routine? As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, freedom is the ability to distinguish between what is essential and what is merely desired. With these words, Epictetus teaches us that true inner peace arises when we differentiate between what we truly need and what we simply crave. Now, let's reflect together on the steps we can take to bring more simplicity into our daily lives. A good starting point is organizing our physical space. We can begin by eliminating excess and keeping only what truly adds value. Each item should undergo a rigorous evaluation. Does this object contribute to my life? Does it bring me any real benefit? By doing so, an overwhelming space transforms into a harmonious, functional, and visually pleasing environment. Each time you step into this space, your mind will feel lighter and more focused on what truly matters. Next, move on to your digital space. Get rid of unnecessary apps and reduce notifications that only steal your attention. Set specific times for phone use, avoiding distractions during important tasks and disabling irrelevant alerts. At first, this may feel challenging, as our brains have become accustomed to the constant stimuli of digital interactions. However, over time, you will notice that you have gained precious hours that can now be used for reading, writing, or simply enjoying quiet moments. Remember, simplicity is not about giving things up just for the sake of it, but about identifying what truly matters and letting go of the superfluous. By creating more space in our lives, we not only achieve greater serenity, but also develop a deeper appreciation for small moments and details. So, are you ready to embark on this journey towards simplicity? Think about the books gathering dust on your shelf, or the social media content you consume without a clear purpose. Imagine the lightness of freeing yourself from this unnecessary weight and the focus you could gain. Simplicity goes beyond material possessions. It also involves how we approach our relationships, goals, and thoughts. Radical changes aren't necessary. Small adjustments, conscious choices, can lead us toward a lighter existence, one more aligned with our true values and needs. Now, I invite you to reflect. Is everything around you truly essential to your happiness? If you believe that true fulfillment lies in simple things, leave a comment saying, "I already have enough." Remember, true wealth is not in having more, but in needing less. Lesson 4. Live in the now. Imagine for a moment that you are walking through a serene forest. Around you, towering trees rise majestically, and the ground is covered with dry leaves that crunch under your steps. You take a deep breath, allowing the fresh, pure air to invigorate your lungs. This simple and authentic moment represents the essence of living in the present, fully immersing yourself in reality as it unfolds. As the Stoic thinker Epictetus once said, "There is only one way to happiness. Stop worrying about things beyond our control." This lesson is deeply connected to the concept of mindfulness, which invites us to remain attentive to the present moment, valuing every second and freeing ourselves from the suffering caused by the past and the anxiety about the future. Practicing mindfulness provides us with mental clarity and serenity, allowing us to experience each moment with greater depth and balance. I'm sure that, at some point, you've found yourself trapped in incessant thoughts about past events that cannot be changed or future situations that cause you apprehension. Our minds have a natural tendency to anticipate problems, which can be useful, but it becomes harmful when we fixate on catastrophic scenarios or compulsively relive past difficulties. So, how can we break free from this vicious cycle? How can we train our minds to stay in the present? Developing mindfulness requires intentional effort to change our perception. It is a habit to be strengthened, much like exercising a muscle that has been inactive for too long. For example, when washing your hands, instead of letting your mind wander, focus on the sensation of warm water touching your skin, the scent of the soap, the sound of the running water. This small shift in attention helps us interrupt the flood of automatic thoughts and savor the simplicity of the now. This kind of practice can be incorporated into every moment of life. When you walk, are you aware of the movement of your feet and the touch of the ground, or is your mind lost in distractions? When reading a book, do you fully immerse yourself in the story, or do you get easily distracted? Mindfulness teaches us to return to the present repeatedly through simple yet transformative habits. One effective technique to strengthen this ability is breath-focused meditation. Sit comfortably in a quiet place, close your eyes, and direct your attention to the act of inhaling and exhaling. Notice the flow of air entering and leaving your lungs. Feel the movement of your chest and abdomen. If you find your mind wandering, gently bring it back to your breath. This practice not only calms the mind, but also enhances our ability to live in the present moment, allowing us to absorb each experience more fully. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once declared, "Fate leads the willing and drags those who resist." With this reflection, he reminds us that true happiness resides in the present, not in regrets about the past or anxieties about the future. Only by fully embracing the now can we truly enjoy life and find genuine contentment in every moment, regardless of what is happening around us. Lesson 5. Turn fear into courage. Have you ever found yourself in an extreme situation where every choice seemed to lead to an uncertain path? We all experience moments like these, confronting our deepest fears and insecurities. In such situations, we must decide whether to retreat or take a bold step into the unknown. This leap may seem terrifying, but it also presents an invaluable opportunity for growth and self-overcoming. When we face challenges with courage, we not only move forward, but also discover strengths we never knew we had, unlocking doors to new possibilities. As the wise Epictetus once said, only by facing our fears do we find the true reserves of strength within us. When we dare to challenge our deepest fears, we pave the way for personal evolution that only occurs when we push past the limits of uncertainty. In this way, fear ceases to be a blockade and becomes a powerful instrument of transformation. Overcoming it reveals our resilience and potential, propelling us beyond our comfort zone toward new achievements. Every time we decide to face a fear, we don't just conquer it. We also expand our understanding of what we are truly capable of. This is the real secret to personal growth, transforming obstacles into stepping stones for success and self-fulfillment. Now, I invite you to reflect on your own fears. Do you fear failing when starting a new project? Are you afraid of being judged for expressing your opinions authentically? We all carry fears. They are part of the human experience. But each fear also represents a gateway to self-knowledge and the development of our essence. Facing them doesn't just mean overcoming challenges. It also means discovering new passions, skills, and inner strengths. What would happen if your greatest fear came true? Would you be incapable of rising again? Perhaps in your mind, this fear seems overwhelming. However, upon deep reflection, you will realize that the feared scenarios are often less likely and less impactful than they initially seem. Preparing to face even the most difficult situations is a Stoic principle that grants us the courage to act despite fear. Instead of letting it dominate you, transform fear into a driving force to move forward. This process may be challenging and take time, but the benefits it brings are immeasurable. An inspiring example of someone who faced their fears and transformed their life is the renowned writer J.K. Rowling. Before achieving worldwide success, she faced financial difficulties, numerous rejections from publishers, and the fear of failure. However, her resilience and ability to channel her concerns into writing not only helped her overcome these challenges, but also gave rise to one of the most iconic literary universes of all time. Her journey teaches us that often, what we fear most can lead us to our greatest accomplishments. So I ask you again, will you allow your fears to block your path, or will you use them as fuel to strengthen your determination? If your answer is the second option, leave a comment saying, I choose courage. Lesson 6. Balancing desire and moderation. Take a moment to reflect. How many times have you found yourself torn between giving in to a strong temptation and maintaining rational balance? These moments of indecision are among the most challenging for the human mind. It's not about completely eliminating desires, but rather ensuring they don't dominate us and make us prisoners of momentary impulses. As the Stoic philosopher CCA stated, nature has abundantly provided everything essential for the body without great difficulty. The Stoics guide us to pause and reflect on the true origin of our intense desires. Ask yourself, is this truly necessary? Will this desire bring a significant and lasting impact on my life, or am I merely being seduced by a fleeting whim? This type of questioning helps us distance ourselves from immediate impulses and reconnect with our most authentic values, enabling more conscious choices. As a wise man once said, he who has everything and still desires more will never find satisfaction. Learning to value each moment and recognize what we already possess teaches us to appreciate life instead of focusing on what we lack. By practicing moderation in different areas of life, we begin to experience a sense of freedom and fulfillment. We need less to feel content, and we start valuing what we already have even more. This state of balance allows us to live more attentively and gratefully, finding happiness in the small experiences of daily life. So, the next time you feel tempted to give in to an impulsive desire, remember the Stoic perspective on moderation and balance. Recall the words of Epictetus, "True wealth does not lie in the number of possessions we have, but in the ability to live with few needs. The less we depend on excess, the richer we become." Lesson 7. Cultivating self-control. The Stoics always emphasize the importance of self-control in their teachings. This virtue does not mean repressing feelings and emotions, but rather governing them and aligning them with our principles and long-term goals. When we manage to delay momentary gratification and focus on a greater purpose, we become the architects of our own destiny. But how can we strengthen this ability in daily life? The first step is to develop a deep awareness of our behavior and thought patterns. We need to know ourselves well enough to identify our weaknesses, recognize where we tend to fail, and understand which circumstances lead us to lose control. Ask yourself, what triggers my impulsive reactions? In what moments am I most vulnerable to abandoning my goals? By understanding these questions, we gain greater mastery over our actions and can devise effective strategies to achieve our goals. A technique recommended by the Stoics is the preemptive visualization of adversities. This method involves imagining the challenges and temptations that may arise and planning in advance how to respond to them in a way that aligns with our principles. By practicing this mental preparation, we equip ourselves to face obstacles with serenity and determination, strengthening our self-confidence. When we have already mentally trained for a challenge, it becomes less daunting when it actually occurs. This preparation makes us more resilient and allows us to confront difficulties with greater clarity and emotional control. Now, imagine yourself in an unexpected situation without any prior preparation. Suppose you're at work and suddenly you receive a call informing you that you need to present a crucial report in just 1 hour without having prepared. Nervousness takes over, your mind scatters and you struggle to concentrate. Stress paralyzes your reasoning, hindering your performance. Now visualize how this situation would be different if you had already practiced anticipatory visualization. Suppose that, during moments of daily reflection, you had imagined yourself facing an unexpected demand. You visualized yourself taking a deep breath, quickly organizing your thoughts, and prioritizing the necessary actions. Since you had already trained your mind for this type of situation, when it actually happens, you remain calm, focus on what needs to be done, and act with assertiveness and control. By incorporating this practice into your routine, you not only improve your resilience, but also transform unexpected challenges into opportunities to demonstrate confidence and leadership. Mastering self-control allows us to react more strategically and effectively to adversity, leading our lives with greater balance and purpose. Anticipation prepares you to face challenges with serenity, showing that with training and foresight, it is possible to turn a tense situation into an opportunity to showcase your inner strength and emotional mastery. As the Stoic emperor and philosopher Marcus Aurelius stated, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." By developing self-discipline, we gain the ability to respond to circumstances with calm and discernment, rather than being overcome by fear or frustration. We become conscious protagonists of our journey, capable of overcoming difficulties with determination and courage. Lesson 8. The value of empathy. No one can achieve a fulfilling existence if they are focused solely on themselves, ignoring those around them. With this reflection, the Stoic philosopher Seneca reminds us of the importance of empathy and human connection. He teaches us that true fulfillment does not lie in individual pleasures but in care and consideration for others, emphasizing that our personal well-being is intrinsically linked to collective well-being. The Stoics believed that by putting ourselves in others' positions, we not only enrich our own journey, but also strengthen the social fabric that supports us and gives meaning to our existence. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the emotions of others, not only strengthens our bonds, but also guides us to live with greater balance and justice. Think of a time when you acted with genuine consideration for someone else. Maybe it was when you helped a friend complete an important project, setting aside your own priorities to offer full support. How did that make you feel? Wasn't it rewarding to realize that your dedication made someone's life easier? Or perhaps it was when you offered encouraging words to someone going through a difficult time, feeling the positive impact of your support. That is the power of empathy, the transformation that happens through human connection. Every act of generosity you express expands and eventually comes back to you. I propose a challenge for your daily life. Practice empathy whenever possible. You don't need to perform grand gestures, just aim to brighten someone's day with a simple act. It could be a kind smile to a neighbor you see every day, or taking a few minutes to truly listen to a coworker who needs to vent. These small acts of empathy will not only brighten someone else's day, but will also enrich your soul, creating a positive cycle of compassion and connection. Remember, every act of empathy brings you closer to the life you want to build. Lesson 9. Amor fati. Embrace your destiny. The Stoic principle of amor fati invites us to accept and appreciate every aspect of our journey, finding learning and meaning in both triumphs and challenges. This teaching guides us to see every experience as an essential part of our personal growth. Instead of resisting difficulties, the Stoics encourage us to embrace them and extract valuable lessons from them. The Stoic philosopher Seneca compared life to a theatrical play. Its duration does not matter, but rather the quality of the performance. Through this metaphor, Seneca reminds us that we should not focus solely on avoiding suffering or seeking fleeting pleasures, but rather on living in a way that reflects our deepest values, regardless of circumstances. This Stoic notion of acceptance and appreciation for fate also resonates in the teachings of great modern thinkers. Psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor Viktor Frankl teaches us in his work, Man's Search for Meaning, that the fundamental motivation of human beings is not pleasure, but the need for meaning. In his words, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. This reflection embodies his conviction that we are capable of finding purpose even in the face of the most severe adversities. Through his accounts and studies, Frankl highlights how facing suffering with a sense of purpose can transform a personal tragedy into a triumph of humanity, aligning with the concept of amor fati. By recognizing value and learning in all circumstances, the practice of amor fati frees us from unconscious resistance to unwanted experiences, encouraging us to see that every event in our lives holds a broader meaning, even if it is not immediately evident. Amor fati is the trust that in some way the universe conspires in our favor, even when we initially perceive challenges as adversities. Now take a moment to think about how to apply this valuable Stoic tool in your daily life. An effective method is to reinterpret events from a new perspective. When faced with an obstacle or unexpected setback, shift your point of view. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" or "What did I do to deserve this?" ask yourself, "What lesson can I learn from this situation?" Or, "How can this experience drive my growth?" By focusing on opportunities for improvement, you transform challenges into stepping stones for evolution and maturity. This shift in perspective not only strengthens our resilience, but also enriches our existence, allowing us to build a clearer and more fulfilling reality. In this way, every difficulty becomes a step forward in our personal progress. Over time, we begin to see life not as a succession of problems, but as a series of opportunities to strengthen our character and face adversity with greater confidence and self-assurance. Before moving on to the next lesson, if you find this content valuable, I invite you to leave your mark. Share in the comments your perspective on transforming challenges into learning experiences, or simply write, "I, Stoic." Together, we will create a space for collective growth. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to keep receiving inspiring content. Your support is essential for us to continue spreading this message. Lesson 10. Cultivating gratitude. Imagine starting each morning by expressing gratitude for everything in your life, from the smallest details to the most significant aspects. You give thanks for being alive, for the air you breathe, for the comfort of your bed, and for the aroma of your morning coffee. This is not about a superficial acknowledgement of accumulated possessions or achievements in your career and relationships. It is about recognizing the gift of life itself. How do you think you would feel by doing this? By replacing the dissatisfaction of waking up early with gratitude for being able to rise each day, this practice shifts your perspective, filling your days with satisfaction and joy, regardless of external circumstances. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus express this idea as follows: "It's not what you have, but how you value what you have that makes the difference." I invite you to experiment with the practice of gratitude in your daily life. Start with small gestures, appreciating details that previously went unnoticed. It could be the softness of the sheets that cover you at night, or the sound of birds singing at dawn. You will realize that as you cultivate this habit, you will begin to find contentment in things you once overlooked, such as the joy of a child playing in the park, or the feeling of a refreshing breeze on a hot day. These simple moments, when valued, connect you to the beauty of the present. Furthermore, gratitude not only enhances our own lives but also inspires others. When people see us demonstrating appreciation for the little things, those around us begin to recognize the value of what was once ignored. That is the power of gratitude. It transforms not only our worldview, but also positively impacts those around us, creating an environment of harmony and recognition that enriches everyone. To incorporate gratitude into your routine, a few simple strategies can be highly effective. One of them is keeping a gratitude journal. Every morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for and reflect on their importance in your life. This exercise helps start the day with a more positive and appreciative mindset. Another technique is practicing gratitude consciously. Whenever you experience something pleasant, take a moment to acknowledge and appreciate it. For example, while savoring a delicious meal, pause for a few seconds to enjoy each bite and be thankful for the flavors and nourishment it provides. The connection between gratitude and the Stoic view of acceptance is evident. The Stoics taught us that acceptance does not mean resignation, but rather recognizing and valuing what we have without wishing it were different. By practicing this acceptance, we find genuine peace. We understand that, although we cannot control everything that happens to us, we have complete control over our reactions. Gratitude reinforces this mindset, helping us maintain a balanced and positive outlook on life. I encourage you to develop your own gratitude habit. Start by appreciating simple aspects, such as the smell of freshly baked bread, the comfort of your favorite chair, or the sound of raindrops falling. Remember the wise words of Seneca: "It is not happiness that makes us grateful, but gratitude that makes us happy." By expressing gratitude, even for the smallest details, we cultivate a positive energy that is contagious and contributes to a more harmonious environment and healthier relationships. Allow yourself to explore the transformative power of these Stoic principles in your routine. May each day be an opportunity to move closer to the life you desire. Remember, each new sunrise is a chance to align yourself with your deepest values and guide your path toward a fuller and more meaningful existence. I sincerely want to congratulate you for making it this far and completing this video. This demonstrates your desire to grow as an individual. If this content added value to your life, share your thoughts in the comments. If you don't know what to write, just type gratitude. That way, I'll know you watched until the end. If you're not yet part of the channel, what are you waiting for? Subscribe now and join this journey. Stoicism is filled with practical teachings for everyday life, so I encourage you to continue deepening your understanding of this philosophy. See you next time.